welcome. My name is Edshara, and today I'm going to be doing a 2-for-1 video. I will be including my wrap-ups for both the Borrow-a-thon and middle grade May in this video. The next couple of books are the ones that I read to finish out middle grade May. And so the first one is Oddity by Sarah Cannon, and this was a tough read for me. I started this one at the beginning of the month and I didn't finish it until the very end of the month. There were a lot of starts and stops and it almost became a DNF, but I think I was determined because I really enjoyed Ada, the main character. She was sassy and brave. She was willing to ask questions that the adults in the town weren't willing to ask or try to answer. And so I loved that she had a little bit of spunk. I also liked her friends Caden and Raymond. I thought they were a pretty good team, even though they had some disagreements. I also liked some of the aliens, the little zombie rabbits were pretty interesting. But I think the thing that kind of threw me off was the author basically drops you in Oddity, New Mexico and, sends you on your way through the story. And there's not too much explaining of how Oddity came to be the way that it is, if there are other places in the world like Oddity, New Mexico that have, aliens and zombie rabbits and, puppets in charge and things like that. So that kind of threw me off because I think I wanted a little bit more explanations than what I felt like I got. So in the end, I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It's not one that I would recommend very enthusiastically, but I am glad that I ended up finishing it because there was a really good sense of family and friendship throughout the book. And next I have Voyage to Avalon by Julie Leung. This is the second book in the Mice of the Round Table series. I read book 1 earlier this month, and I'm not going to tell you too much about this one because it would spoil it. But the thing that I love about this series is it's full of action. There are a lot of twists and turns. Some of it is a bit predictable, but there's still enough to surprise you and kind of go like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And I love the fact that these books are so well written. I really love the writing style. The author does an excellent job of pulling you into the story and getting you invested in these characters. And I love that in a book. And so if you are a person who loves, animals that live a life very similar to humans as well as they interact with humans, I think you would really enjoy this series. If you like kind of that medieval type of book, I think you would enjoy this series. And so I cannot wait for book 3 to come out, which I think it is released later this year, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I can't wait. And then I read The Mighty Miss Malone by Christopher Paul Curtis, and this is a good book. But there was a lot going on that I wasn't exactly happy with. So I ended up giving this one 3 stars. There were just a few things that were happening in the plot that I was just like, no, I want you to go this way. And the author went this way. And I wasn't happy about it. There was a situation with the dad in the middle of the book that I was just like, was that really necessary? Did we really have to go there to get here? I don't think it was. So this is one, I liked the characters. I loved Deza. I loved the very close-knit family that they had. I liked the way that they talked to each other and interacted with one another. I thought it was so sweet to see that. Overall, it was okay. Last book that I want to talk to you guys about today is my TBR jar pick of the month, and that was All Rise for the Honorable Perry T. Cook by Leslie Connor, and I enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars. I think one of my favorite parts of the book was the fact that the author was able to take a plot that was very unique, and that you had a child living and being raised in the prison system where his mother was incarcerated, and she made it very realistic. She had certain rules and things that Perry was allowed to do and and things that he wasn't allowed to do, and so that made it a little bit more plausible, a little bit more like, okay, I could see that, even though that's not something that we would see in the real world. I also enjoyed seeing Perry's interactions with the people that were around him. I loved how he was with his mother. He and his mother had a very good relationship. Even though she was keeping some things from him, I thought they had a very solid relationship. But I also liked seeing his interactions with the warden and, you know, some of the other employees at the prison, as well as some of the other inmates. I was also in the beginning a little bit hesitant about the length, because I think the physical copy of this book is over 400 pages, and I kind of went into it wondering, is that really necessary? But the plot and everything that kind of happens in the story fits the length of this book really well. I don't think that it was one of those books that was too long, and I think that everything that was included was kind of necessary for the story to be fully developed. But that's it for the books that I read. I had so much fun doing both the Borrow-a-thon and Middle Grade May. I love these two readathons because they are very laid back. They're not, you know, focused on numbers and how much you can read in a certain amount of time. And even though the Borrow-a-thon has challenges, you don't have to do those challenges if you don't want to. So I love the relaxed feel that you get from both of these readathons. I also want to say thank you to Akoss for asking me to not only participate in Middle Grade May as a reader, but also as a co-host. That was the first time I've gotten to do that here on BookTube, so that was fun. I also love readathons because you get to meet a lot of new people, so hello to all of my new subscribers, and hello to all of the new bookish buddies that I've made, and all the channels that I've subscribed to. So I really have fun doing readathons, and I hope to do more in the future. But that is it for me today, guys. I really do appreciate you watching. Until next time, God bless. Bye. Of those, really? I'm supposed to believe that?